Neil Armstrong, Edwin Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins in Apollo 11.
This is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6. The hour.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Into the ocean, end it all. Into the ocean, end it all. Into the ocean, end it all. Into the ocean, end it all.
Conference time. I'd like to ask Neil Armstrong when he began to think of what he would say when he put his foot down on the lunar surface, and how long he pondered this. This statement about a small step for man, gigantic leap for mankind.
Yes, I did think about it. It was not extemporaneous, neither was it planned. It evolved during the contact of flight, and I decided
Mary!
what the words would be while we're on the lunar surface just prior to leaving the lunar module.
I'd like to ask Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, and I'm not sure how to ask this question. When you first stepped onto the moon, did it strike you to where you were stepping, that you were stepping on a piece of Earth, or sort of what your inner feelings were? Whether you felt you were standing on a desert, or that this was really another world, or how you felt at this point?
Well, there was no question in our minds where we were. We'd been orbiting around the moon for some time. At the same time, we had experienced 1.6G before.
Einstein!
We've been exposed, to some degree, to the lighting that we saw. However, this was, in my case, an extremely foreign situation with the stark nature of the light and dark condition, and of course, we first set foot on the moon in the dark shadow of the area.
It's a stark and strangely different place, but it looked friendly to me, and it proved to be friendly.
Appendix!
Will you recommend any changes in procedures for the moonwalking and exploration procedure? And did you find that your suits were mobile enough in view of the changes or would you recommend further mobility features for them for the operation on the moon?
Well, one gets used to the type of mobility that your suit affords you, and of course we'd like to have more and more dexterity with arms moving and fingers moving. These things are under study. Of course, the Apollo 12 mission will have 2 different periods of EVA. One early in the mission and then a sleep period, and then another EVA following that. We in general looked at their plans and we talked to them about the durations. We talked to them about a brief period at the beginning of their EVA for their familiarization with the EVA. 1.6G environment. I don't think that we have any particular recommendations for how they should change their mission. There's a continuing involvement of EVA capability and scientific exploration that they're undertaking on that flight.
You are now national heroes, and you've had a couple of weeks in isolation in the LRL. Think about that.
What are your initial feelings about being heroes? How do you believe it will change your lives? And do you think that maybe you'll get another chance to go to the moon? Or are you gonna be too busy being heroes?
Probably to get an answer to that question, we might have to spend as long preparing as we had to prepare for Apollo 11. In the lunar receiving laboratory, we had very little time for meditation. As it turned out, we were quite busy throughout the time period with the same sort of things that the crews of past flights have done after their flights. The debriefing schedules and writing the pilot reports and getting all the facts down for the use of all people who will include that in the future flights.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat of the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else, alone, in spite of the fact that some people still think that they know him, but fuck him, he knows the code. It's not about the salary, it's all about reality and making some noise, making a story, making sure his click stays up. That means when he puts it down, Tox picking it up. Let's go.
Who the hell is he anyway? He never really talks much, never concerned with status, but still leaving him starstruck. Humble through opportunities given despite the fact that many misjudge him cause he makes a living from writing raps. Put it together himself, now the picture connects, never asking for someone's help or to get some respect. He's only focused on what he wrote, his will is beyond reach, and now it all unfolds, the skill of an artist. This is 20% skill, 80% fear, be 100% clear.